Hello. On behalf of Anglo-American University, I would like to officially thank you for tuning in to our virtual open house. Before we begin our open house, we would like to take a moment to introduce you to the people in the AAU admissions office. Our Director for Admissions and Recruitment is Ms. Jeta Sahacia. She is from Kosovo. An admissions counselor, Ms. Kleja Bobin, who is from Croatia and the Czech Republic, respectively. Myself, Rebecca Newhouse, I am from the United States, and Ms. Natalie Kvachkova-Sipila, who is from the United States and from Slovakia, respectively. We like to introduce ourselves because we want to make it clear to everyone who wishes to attend AAU that everyone in the admissions office knows what it feels like to pack up their lives and move to a new place. We all have experience applying for visas, and we all know how it is to start your life over. So we like to believe that we are uniquely positioned to accurately and professionally guide you through the entire experience. A few more key facts before we officially begin. AAU is an international university. We currently have students from over 80 different countries, and for this reason, our language of instruction is English. We do have high-quality degrees. By this, we mean we have top professors, people who have worked in their fields, as well as who have continued to study, with well-designed degrees. By well-designed degrees, we specifically mean that we are designing our degrees to take you forward into the actual working fields. You will, of course, have textbooks, but we're more concerned with your ability to grasp and apply the concepts than we are with your ability to study in a textbook and repeat vocabulary. All of our degrees are designed to ensure that you are successful and that you can go globally anywhere with your career. Part of this is our interactive and applied learning. We like to use active discussions, we have small class sizes, and we have many student projects. The reason for this being is that in 2020, it is frankly unrealistic for anyone to expect that they will be working alone. You will almost definitely have a local and a global team, and you need to have experience working within those parameters. We will help you with that. Additionally, we do offer a globally recognized degree. We currently hold 2 accreditations. One of them is the North American WASC accreditation, which is based out of California, which means that your degree will be able to be recognized all over North America, as well as Central and South America. And in addition to that, if you would like, you can apply to also have our Czech accreditation, meaning your degree is also accredited within the EU. This means that with our very carefully curated programs and our dual accreditation, you can go anywhere in the world. Our schools of study are as follows. We have the School of Business Administration, the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, the School of International Relations and Diplomacy, the School of Journalism, Media, and Visual Arts, the John H. Carey School of Law, which is taught in conjunction with the University of London. It is actually the University of London's direct law program taught on our campus for a fraction of the cost. And we also have our Global Degree Program, which is a CIS program in partnership with Kent State University in Ohio. Within these programs, we have undergraduate and graduate programs, so I would like to briefly walk you through those. Within our School of Business, we have a business administration focus. You can do that as an extended major, just business administration, or there are a variety of concentrations you can focus on. We have 2 listed here. They're arguably our most popular, the Marketing and Communications and the Strategic Marketing Analysis and Planning. However, we also offer People Management and Leadership, Accounting and Finance, Entrepreneurship, Business Economics, Management, Economics and Finance, International Business Law, and Strategic Marketing. We also have a Humanities program. Listed again are 2 of our most popular concentrations, Humanities, Society and Culture, and Politics and Society, but there are other options within Humanities as well, such as Conflict Resolution, Central European Studies, or even Psychology. International Relations is arguably our strongest program because we are an international environment, and within international relations as well, we do have a variety of concentrations, including European Studies, Security Studies, Global Affairs, International Law, Human Rights, and Political History of Central and Eastern Europe. We have a Journalism, Media, and Visual Arts program that I think is particularly interesting because we are focused on the future of these programs rather than on the past. For example, in journalism in 2020, moving into 2021, you will most likely not be working for a newspaper or a magazine. You will most likely, as a journalist, work freelance for an online publication. In this capacity, you need to know how to price your work, you need to know how to meet deadlines, and you need to know how to market yourself. So we will teach you all of these skills in addition to the standard journalism skills. Likewise, our visual arts program follows the same general basis. You, of course, will be learning skills like painting, as seen in this photo, or other hard art skills. However, you will most likely be able to put your name out there in the world of something like Instagram or sometimes TikTok. So again, you need to know how to market yourself. You need to know how to curate your own gallery showings, and you need to know how to price your work. We will teach you all of this. As I stated previously, the law program is the University of London's law program taught on our campus. The LLB program, that is the Bachelor of Law, does require British A-levels or their equivalent. By their equivalent, we mean, for example, an IB diploma, or if you are in the Lyceum program, or if you have a standard diploma of any of the major high schools of your country. These typically work. If they do not work, you can instead enroll in our Certificate of Higher Education in Common Law program. The LLB program is typically 3 years, but if your diploma does not allow you to enter that program, you can enter the Certificate of Higher Education program for 2 years and then spend another 2 years in the Bachelor of Law program. Our Global Degree program is also an undergraduate bachelor program. However, as I stated previously, this is in conjunction with Kent State University. So we have computer information systems, both a BA and a BS in computer science, and emerging media and technology. 2 years will be spent in Prague and 2 at Kent State in Ohio. It is important to note, all of our programs, except for this program, the Global Degree program, and the law program, have 2 intakes, the fall and the spring. The Global Degree program and our law program only do fall intakes. We also do have graduate programs. We have a standard MBA, which is taught in conjunction with Chapman University in California. If you decide to pursue a bachelor's of business and then you want to move forward to get a leg up on all your competition within the business world, the MBA is the degree for you. This is the gold standard of higher education in business. Our International Relations and Diplomacy Master's program is a direct continuation of our International Relations Bachelor program. If you do wish to be a diplomat or to work for the United Nations or for NATO, you will need to have a master's degree, and we will help you by enrolling in this program. We actually do have alumni who work for these organizations, and so you will be in good company. Our Humanities Master is an excellent choice for anyone who wishes to pursue higher education, but who might not have a clear idea of exactly what they're interested in studying. Our humanities program is highly customizable, so no matter what you're interested in, there is a way to pursue things that are specific to you and your goals. We also do have a Master of Law. However, it is important to note that this program does not qualify you to practice law. The LLB program is what qualifies you to practice law. That is the bachelor program. The master program, the LLM, is a certificate program that will give you additional certifications so that you can distance yourself from other lawyers and get better jobs and have more opportunities. Our learning environment is one of our biggest selling points in that we have small class sizes. The largest class you will ever have at AAU will be 25 people. However, most classes are more like 10 to 15. This means that we have a personalized approach to our students in which all of the professors will know your name. You will know the names of all of the students you're in classes with, and you'll have a ready-made immediate community upon arrival because you will recognize the faces around you. This also means that you will know your dean and be on a first-name basis with them. They will help you register at the beginning of every semester and walk you through your studies. So it really is a great environment for anyone who's looking to feel like more of a community and less like a number in a crowd of hundreds. As I stated earlier, we do have interactive and applied learning and world-class faculty members. They are every bit as international as our students, and they are here to help you to get jobs and to move forward. One of the most important things when choosing a university is the nature of the campus life. Here you can see some photos of our campus. As you'll note, it is beautiful. Our campus is actually located in an ancient palace. This palace was built just after the 30 Years' War, and it is a historically protected building, which means you are quite literally attending class in a palace. You'll notice, for example, in the top left photo, those are the original hand-painted ceilings from the 17th century. You could not ask for a more beautiful environment. On our campus, we have many resources available to the students, such as academic tutoring centers and career centers. We have mentorships hubs, which will help you to do things like write a CV and practice in your interviews. But we also have practical applications. For example, the Lenin Wall magazine is something that many of our journalism students are particularly excited about. It is a 100% student-run publication. There's no faculty involvement. That being said, you do not need to be a journalism student to contribute to the Lenin Wall magazine. So if you have something to say, some beautiful photos you'd like to display, or just want to see if anyone's responding to your ideas, you can always write for the Lenin Wall. Likewise, in that same vein, we also have the Soundbricks Radio. This is our personal student-run radio station for AAU. You are more than welcome to sign up to be a part of it. Maybe you have an interesting podcast idea or music taste that you think the world should hear. No matter what your interests are, you can display them proudly in either Lenin Wall magazine or Soundbricks Radio. We also do offer psychological counseling to our students. Every student gets 3 free sessions per semester, and you can have more by appointment, but only the first 3 are free. You can speak to our counselor about anything, so it's always worthwhile to check in. And we also do have study abroad options. We have both Erasmus and non-Erasmus study abroad options, as well as free mover and direct exchange programs. So no matter where in the world you would like to study abroad, there is a university that we can match you to. We also have some more academically minded things happening on campus for our students. Like, for example, the top left photo is Professors in the Pub. Professors in the Pub is arguably one of our most popular events. Once per month, we will pick a current event happening in the world. We've covered populism, Argentina, Donald Trump's politics, the situation in Hong Kong, the Me Too movement. If it's a major world event, we have discussed it. And basically what happens is we bring in experts in this field, and then the students get to sit down in a peer environment and just discuss their ideas and opinions. It's a great way for you to get to know the way the rest of the world is viewing things and the way that different cultures react to different situations. We also have law school roundtables to help our law students get more comfortable using law vocabulary and learn their way around a mock courtroom. We have MBA open lectures. These are particularly fascinating because we like to bring in business people who have succeeded and failed in their fields and talk about what happened. Realistically speaking, you are not going to succeed at everything you do in life, but that does not mean you give up. So for example, we like to bring in people that have tried to start businesses via Kickstarter and had it not work out, but they continued to persist and ended up succeeding. They give you tips on how to move forward, and the people who have succeeded will give you tips on how to begin. In addition, we have 2 to 3 annual academic conferences per year and a variety of artistic exhibitions. Our clubs and connections are particularly cool, specifically because they always reflect our current student interests. If interest in a club is waning, we get rid of that club and bring in a new one. If there is a club that you want that we don't have, you simply need to find 3 other students who also want that club, and then you can sign up, and a brand new club is born. The list here is our fairly accurate always clubs, so we usually always have Model UN. We often have film club and yoga club, but last spring we even had the anti-stress club and the cooking club. So no matter what your interests are, there's a club for you, even if it means starting it yourself. Here are some photos of our student life. You can see people are typically very active on our campus and in our alumni community as well. Coming to AAU is not just an education, it is a ready-made family. This is because it takes a particular kind of person to pack their life up and move to the other side of the world to start over. So when you arrive at AAU, you know that every other person in the room with you is in the same position you are. We find it makes people extremely eager to make friends and to connect in ways that really persist far past the university experience. An excellent way to connect with the people that you're starting school with is to live in our student housing. Our student housing is located in Prague 7 in a neighborhood known as Holešovice. Holešovice is consistently ranked among the top coolest neighborhoods in Europe. It's also among the most affordable. It is a 20-minute tram ride from our campus, just one tram, you don't have to stop. You can live in a variety of situations, such as single room, shared room, whatever you want. And it is worth noting that there is Wi-Fi, furniture, bedding, dishes, all basics already provided and included. There's reception and security, and there's routine cleaning. So this is a really excellent place to move into for the first 6 months or a year, to meet people and to not have to think about where you're going to live. This being said, you do not have to live in our student housing, although we do strongly recommend it for one specific reason. In order to get a student visa at AAU, you will need to be able to provide proof of accommodation. Proof of accommodation is paperwork that is not always easy to get when you're looking for apartments on your own. There are a variety of reasons for this that I would be happy to go through with you if you would like to email for more information. However, essentially what it boils down to is it is just easier to live in student housing, get that letter of accommodation easily, and then maybe after the first 6 months or year, search for an apartment when you're already here, and you can guarantee that that paperwork can come through for you. Prague itself is also a wonderful city. It is a highly sought after destination, and just looking at these photos, you can immediately tell why. However, I'm going to go over a few things about Prague just to make sure you fully understand why it is such an amazing place. First and foremost, the cost of living is quite low for any other European city. Typically speaking, you are looking at spending between 800 and 1,000 US dollars a month, but that is total for everything: meals, accommodation, public transportation, and entertainment. I can tell you for me personally, I don't spend that much, so it really depends on how much you are used to spending in your daily life. If you go out to eat every single night, if you go clubbing every single weekend, if you're always buying the newest coat or skirt, then you're probably going to spend a little bit more. If, on the other hand, you tend to maybe cook dinner at your friends' apartments, go to pubs, not go shopping quite as often, then you're looking at spending less than that. So this is really entirely dependent on the lifestyle at which you are accustomed to. Housing, typically speaking, is around 500 US dollars a month. But again, this can fluctuate depending on you. The good news, no matter what, is that student visas also function as part-time work visas in the Czech Republic, and you can typically make between $300 and $720 US dollars a month. Again, you could go less or more depending on your work ethic and depending on what you're doing, but this tends to be the average. We do have a career center that can help you find work if you're struggling. However, it should not be an issue. In general, Prague is such a touristy place that if you are bilingual in any capacity, there is a tourism job for you. Especially if you speak Spanish, there is a huge number of Spanish-speaking tourists in Prague, and so Spanish speakers are in high demand for all of the tourism industries. So why Prague specifically, though? Well, prior to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, we did have the lowest unemployment rate in the EU. Obviously, now that the ongoing pandemic has occurred, we are waiting to see the new statistics because no one's really sure how that's going to pan out. That being said, though, it is one of the top 10 best student cities in the world. A big reason for this is because it is the fourth most affordable city in all of Europe. It is one of the safest cities in the world, it is one of the safest countries in the world, and it also has some of the best public transportation in the world. The public transportation in Prague is safe, it's reliable, and it's incredibly inexpensive, so it's very easy to get anywhere you need to be. So we've hooked you. Prague is an amazing place, and AAU is a wonderful opportunity. So how do you begin? Well, first you need to choose your favorite program. I briefly went over those at the beginning, but they are on our website as well, and you can always email to ask more questions about them. You'll fill in the online application form, pay the application fee, and submit all of the required documents. This is all in one step if you click the Apply Now button on our website. The required documents are fairly standard with a few deviations from the norm. Standardly, of course, we will need your high school diploma. If you are still in school and have not earned your diploma yet, that is totally fine. That's normal. We just need your transcripts up until this point, and then you'll send us your diploma once you have it. We need your transcripts regardless, so if you've graduated already by the time you apply, then you give us your full transcripts. If you're applying before you graduate, again, just your transcripts up until the point at which you apply. You'll have to write a personal statement. This is fairly standard. You will also, however, need to provide us with a copy of your passport because we are international and will need to issue visa letters. You'll need to provide us with a photo of yourself. It is labeled passport-sized photo, but this has caused some confusion in recent years. We don't need a copy of the photo on your passport. We want a head-on photo that could be used as your ID photo should you get accepted. So like a high-quality selfie is fine for this purpose, as long as it is head-on in the style of a driver's license or a passport photo. We'll need a CV or resume. If you don't have any work experience, that's fine. We mostly just want to learn about you, your hobbies, your interests, your skills, the way you spend your time. The reason for this is that we evaluate all students holistically. Of course, your grades do matter. We require a 2.5 or better on the American GPA system, but we're more interested in who you are as a person than we are in your grades. So we rely primarily on your personal statement and your CV in order to get a good idea of who you are and what you will bring to the table. However, you will also be scheduled for an interview with the dean once all of your documents are in. And ultimately, it is the dean of your chosen program who is going to decide whether or not you will be accepted to Anglo-American University. If you have any other questions at the end of this virtual open house, then of course, please feel free to ask any of them that you have using the Q&A tool. But if when this is over and you've thought about the presentation a little bit, you find you have more questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. My name is Rebecca, and that is my personal email at the top, rebecca.newhouse@aauni.edu. My entire job is to answer the questions of prospective students and to make sure that you feel confident moving forward. So please email me at any time with any questions. If you have more general admissions questions, this is our shared admissions folder, admissions@aauni.edu. And if you have any questions relating to our housing, please, we kindly ask that you directly email housing@aauni.edu. I'm going to move now to answering any questions that you may have. So I'm going to start simply by looking at, I see actually it's in the chat tool, so I will answer this in the chat, but I would like to kindly ask anyone who has any other questions to please instead use the Q&A tool. It's just easier to keep track of questions and make sure that I've answered all of them. The first thing I see here is, do you have scholarships and how could I apply for a scholarship? At this time, we only have what is known as the merit-based scholarship, and it is offered to our second semester students onwards. Essentially, all students must pay for the very first semester. This is roughly around $3,000 US. At the end of your first semester, your GPA is evaluated, and if you have a 3.9 or a 4.0, so straight A's, your next semester is completely free. If you have a 3.8, your next semester is 50% off. Essentially, the harder you work, the less you pay. So I will move to the Q&A now. I see, are there any special requirements for international students? That is an excellent question, and the answer is no. All of the requirements are the same for everyone because we are first and foremost an international school. I'm going to wait a few minutes just to ensure that anyone who has a question is able to answer it. In the meantime, I would like to address the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic situation. We are at this point only offering online courses for the current semester, and we are also offering online courses for the spring 2021 semester. We cannot, under any circumstances, imagine that this will still be a continuing problem on the same scale by the fall of 2021, simply because, of course, we are all hoping for that vaccine to come out. However, if that does continue to be an issue, we will offer online courses then as well, and they are asynchronous, meaning that you do not have to worry about not being able to meet your class on time. If a class is happening at a time that would be the middle of the night for your time zone, then you simply watch a recording of it later. Otherwise, you tune in at the same time as everyone else. There is another question here. I believe that that is in Spanish, however. Unfortunately, as I stated, we are all fully English, so give me just one moment. So I think this is asking if the people at the housing will wash your clothes. No, but there are washers and dryers available. The routine cleaning that they do there is for common spaces, just to ensure that, you know, everything is always vacuumed and dusted, that any dishes are done, that kind of thing. But in terms of your own personal belongings, you are responsible for those. Do we have an advantage by having the IB diploma? This is a great question. You absolutely do. Having an IB diploma means that you will not have to prove your English proficiency. This is a requirement for all students since we are international and all in English, is you have to prove English proficiency via TOEFL, Cambridge, IELTS, that kind of thing. However, if you have the IB diploma, you do not have to do this. Additionally, having the IB diploma helps you out with a legal process called nostrification. As I stated at the beginning, we are dual accredited, the US and the EU. The American accreditation is the one that is given to you regardless. If you want the EU accreditation as well, you go through nostrification, which is a process of essentially proving your high school education is equivalent to that of the EU. Having the IB diploma means that this is not something you have to worry about. You just automatically go through because, of course, IB diplomas are standard. In chat, I see, can you please explain again the prices of Prague? Yes, I can actually go back to that slide quickly, just so that we can look at it while I go over it. Oh, and I missed it. My apologies. So, for everything all together, meals, accommodation, public transport, and entertainment. So entertainment, we mean, you know, if you want to travel around a little bit or you want to go out to a local pub with your friends, everything all together, typically speaking, is between 800 and 1,000 US dollars a month. But again, this is dependent entirely on your standard of living. So if, for example, you are fine to live in a shared room in a dorm and you will probably cook most of your breakfasts and eat lunch on our campus as opposed to in a restaurant, you know, you could spend as little as 600 to 700. If, though, you want to eat a steak dinner every single night and go traveling every weekend to a new country, then it's probably going to be more like 12 to 15. So it's really dependent on you, but this is the most standard. Are there any internships during the course? Yes, actually, all of our students are required to complete an internship in order to graduate. The parameters of the internship are pretty broad, though, which means that you can kind of make it what you want. The main requirements are that the internship needs to relate to the program that you are enrolled in, of course, and you need to complete 140 hours. Beyond that, the way you do this is up to you. We do have people that can help you get internships if you're struggling to find one on your own, but if you know of one on your own, you can apply for it absolutely. You can do one over the summer. The good thing about Prague is that internships are pretty common, so you can even have one while you're in class, and the businesses that you would be interning with are extremely understanding about the fact that you'll be in class. You can do paid or unpaid. It's really whatever you find, so long as, again, it relates to your subject and it's 140 hours. Does the English level have to be proficient? Is C1 level enough? Yes, C1 is perfect. We require a B2 standard, like a high B2. That's a 6 on the IELTS. I believe it's 71 on the TOEFL. So yes, C1 is perfect. How many points do we need to have in the IB diploma in order to be admitted? We require a minimum of 24. This is because, again, we are more interested in this quality of person you are than the grades that you get. So we need to ensure that the points that you have on your IB diploma are indicative of the fact that you are able to do the work, but it is ultimately your interview with the dean that's going to decide whether or not you're admitted. Is there any help from the university to get the visa or international documents necessary? Yes, there is. However, I'm going to briefly explain how that works because we sometimes find that people mean, will we do it for you? Legally, we cannot apply for the visa for you. The Czech embassies don't allow for that. Instead, what happens is we are going to give you all of the information you need. We're going to give you proof of studies paperwork. We're going to give you proof of accommodation paperwork. We're going to get you all of the documents you need in order to apply for your health insurance, and we'll help you in terms of things they're going to ask you during your interview. Some countries require us to make visa appointments for you, some don't, but we have all of that information available, and we will pass all of it along to you. Is having a C1 Cambridge diploma enough? Yes, we do accept the CAE, and C1 is perfect. Are any subjects taught in any language other than English? Yes and no. By that, I mean our primary language of instruction is English. However, we do offer other language courses, especially within the international relations program. You will be required to take at least 1 year of a foreign language. So we do have French classes, Russian classes, German, Spanish, that kind of thing. However, all of the subjects are taught specifically in English. So the university's ranking is a difficult thing to be able to accurately express because university rankings are ranked based on university research, not on the quality that you're receiving. And at this point, AAU does not have a large body of research coming out because we're primarily a teaching university as opposed to a research university. In addition to that, within the Czech Republic, Czech people receive free public education, so the majority of Czechs go to the public universities rather than the private universities. It's kind of an unfortunate answer. I wish I could give you just a hard number, but as I stated, we're a teaching university, not a research university. Could you briefly go over the programs again? Absolutely, I would be more than happy to. So as I stated, we have a School of Business Administration. Within business administration as a bachelor's level, we have several concentrations such as extended major, marketing and communications, people management and leadership, accounting and finance, entrepreneurship, business economics, management, economics and finance, and international business law. Our international relations and diplomacy bachelor's degree has several concentrations as well, such as the extended major, which is general international relations. And then we have focuses such as European studies, security studies, global affairs, international law, human rights, and political history of Central and Eastern Europe. We have a journalism and communications program. We have a visual arts studies program, humanities, society, and culture, which is a general humanities. We have politics and society. We have our Bachelor of Law. We have our Certificate of Higher Education in Common Law. And we have our Global Degree Program, which is the CIS program in conjunction with Kent State University. If you have any questions about any of these specifics, please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer. Does the university offer any exchange programs? Yes, we do Erasmus and non-Erasmus, as well as free mover. So Erasmus is essentially an agreement that you will have between two different universities where you can just pick up and go to another university in a different place for a semester or a year, and then come back to AAU. It has the benefit of guaranteeing things like, your credits will transfer and the university is aware of you and you're a part of that direct exchange program. However, we also have non-Erasmus agreements. These exist in a variety of incarnations. So some of them will be that you pay tuition to AAU, but then you just pick up and go to one of these other places. Some of them you would have to pay the tuition at that place, but then likewise, somebody would come in your place. Like there's lots of differences, but we have, I believe, total somewhere between 70 and 80 Erasmus and non-Erasmus combined. The number in my head is 76, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I see. How long is the visual arts program? All of our bachelor's programs are 3 years standard, except for the Certificate of Higher Education in Common Law. That is a 2-year program. The rest of them are all 3-year programs. The reason that they're 3 years in Europe versus the standard 4 years in North America is because in North America, they make you take 2 years of core credits and then 2 years of your direct studies. In Europe, it is assumed that in high school, you already had a strong base of core credits, so you'll typically only have 1 semester to 1 year of core credits, and then the rest are automatically your major. Does practicing a sport have any advantage in scholarship or anything like that? No, it does not. As I stated, the only scholarship that we offer at this time is the merit-based scholarship, where depending on the GPA you earn at AAU specifically, you will get a discount in tuition. What could earn me more points in the admissions process to have a higher chance to get accepted? This is a great question. The biggest thing for us, again, is we're interested in the quality of person you are. We want to know that anyone coming into the AAU community is somebody who is hardworking, who is driven, who genuinely wants to be there. We are not interested in students who are enrolling in a business course because their parents told them to. Of course, this does happen, but we're more interested in knowing that you're passionate about the things that you want to achieve. We have a very active alumni community. We're very proud of them, and they have done a lot for the school, and we want to know that everyone who comes into the school is going to add to that as well. Myself, I am currently a student as well as working in the admissions office, and I can tell you for me, one of the greatest assets of being in classes is this exact thing. Everybody in the classes are people who really want to be there and want to succeed. Is housing included in the tuition fees? It is not. Housing is a separate cost. Housing prices are dependent on what you're interested in. So we do ask that if you have any questions relating to the housing prices to please email housing@aauni.edu. Is the personal statement like the college essay? Essentially, yes. It is slightly different in that it is a little bit shorter than your standard college essay format, and we have questions on our website. So you are going to pick one of the questions on the website. If you'll give me just a moment, I can actually pull them up and let you know what they are. And then you're going to write around 650 words for this personal statement. It's just the one go. So it's not a big, long essay, it's response. The question that you choose is going to tell us a little bit about you as a person. So we do recommend that you pick one that you genuinely care about as opposed to the question you feel like we want to hear. So the questions to choose from are: some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent so meaningful they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, please share your story. We also have: reflect on a time when you questioned or challenged a belief or idea. What prompted your thinking? What was the outcome? Or, for example, describe a topic, idea, or concept you find so engaging it makes you lose all track of time. Why does it captivate you? So these are just a few of the questions, but as you can see from these examples, they're pretty broad questions and they should inspire you to write about the things you care about. That's our main goal. This question is: what are the tuition fees? This is an excellent question. So you're going to pay tuition by semester rather than by year or by 3 years. So currently for one semester, the tuition at AAU is 89,800 Czech crowns. That is 3,500 US dollars. In total, the tuition for any 3-year Bachelor's of Art program is 538,000 Czech crowns, which is roughly $21,000. However, as I stated, you only have to pay for one semester at a time. So you'll only need to pay for your first semester, $3,500. And then if you get straight A's, your next semester is free. Is there a word limit in the college essay? Yes, we ask for a minimum of 250, maximum of 650 words. That being said, you have about 50 words to work with in terms of overages. You absolutely cannot go under 250 words. We won't accept it. But if you're really into what you're writing and you end up writing 700 words instead of 650, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so that is all of the questions answered for right now. I'm going to wait another minute or two just to see if there are any others. But if at the end of this, you have sat for a day or two and thought about the presentation and then realized, oh no, there's a question you really wanted to answer, please just email us. We are always available. It is worth noting the university does shut down for Christmas on December 18th. So if you email between December 18th and January 4th, you will not get a response, but we will get to all of your emails when we return from Christmas break. So there are more questions now. What should I include in my CV if I don't have any work experience in any field? Just include the things you enjoy. For example, on my CV when I applied, even though I had work experience, I also included that I really love to read and I really love to cook. We just want to get a feel for who you are and the things that you care about. So you can include anything, and we actually have a CV template that we work with. It's on Europass. I can send you the link if you email me, but you can also just fill that in. This one just says, thank you so much for answering our questions. Of course, it was no problem. Absolutely my pleasure. Okay, so on that note, it is 3:45 p.m. Prague time. I believe that makes it 8:45 for you all, although I'm not entirely certain of the time difference. But that being said, I think if there are no other immediate questions, we will go ahead and call it a day. I am so grateful that all of you joined. Thank you so much. I hope that it was informative for you and that you got all of your questions out. But once again, just in case, if there's anything else that occurs to you at any time, please email us. We are also happy to help. So thank you so, so much. I hope you all have a lovely day and a lovely upcoming weekend. And hopefully I'll see a few of you soon on our campus. Goodbye.